What on earth am I playing? Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Juggernaut, and these will be my first impressions of Beat the Game. Although, out of all the first impressions videos that I've done, this is the least first impressions-y, if that makes any sense. What I mean by that is I've started up a new game, but I've played through a lot of it already, so this is almost like a spoiler-free review rather than anything else. So, Beat the Game. Usually, I start off these reviews by telling you what the game is about. Having gone through about 2.5 hours of gameplay in Beat the Game, I can honestly say I have no bloody clue. Well, okay, so initially, before I walk over to the fridge, and yes, it's a magical fridge, don't worry about it, I'm going to shut up during the cutscene, so I need to get this out of the way before I walk over to it. Initially, I thought this was a game about, you know, doing puzzles and beating the game, as in, you know, the verb to beat. Turns out, Beat the Game is referring to the musical beats. So you collect various musical beats, you collect these samples, you mix them together into a soundtrack, and you beat the game like that. By collecting those things, pun fully intended. So, I mean, that's what basically the game is about, but I think it's best to show you rather than talk about it, so... By the way, I mentioned it's a magical fridge. Juggernaut, that's not magical fridge, it dispenses cans of Coca-Cola, or, you know, whatever that's supposed to... Carbon dioxide, yeah. It's not yeah, look, it's magical, it just spawned a demon. That is deceptively like the Eye of Terror, is it not? I even have a nice little chair to watch it from here. Look, I feel like I'm getting corrupted by Chaos influence here. Summon the Imperial Guard, no? Definitely Chaos elements. Yep. Well, I'm screwed. This is all the introduction to the game. We'll get into the main meat and bit of the gameplay in a bit, but in a beat, some might even say. That was terrible, I'm sorry. So, here we go. Right now, it's daytime, and this confused me immensely at the start, but because it says after a long sleep, right now it's daytime. So this is just to avoid you people getting confused. And don't worry, the game is 3D, it's just this segment that's a bit questionable. Okay. So we found a tape. The beautiful thing about it is everything you collect will get used automatically as soon as it needs to be used. And yes, I do have a little bit of nostalgia towards those cassette tapes, but at any rate. Here we go. We're getting into the gameplay now. We're crawling out of the sewers and into gameplay. Essentially. Along with a colourful and interesting cast of characters, the game's overall graphic style I quite seem to enjoy, to be honest with you. So, here we go. This is essentially what you do. You walk around this area and create music. We've appeased the giant space demon, and it likes my music now. I feel like I'm about to drop the hottest mixtape of 2017 in this video right now. But that's not enough, right? That's terrible. Let's change it up. See, what you can do is basically this. There you go. You can scan various things in the real world, quote unquote. I mean, that. Look, point to something here that looks real world to you. It really, there's not a lot of it, but hey, you know what I mean. You can also do drugs. At least I'm assuming that's what I'm doing at this stage. How would you call it? And I wonder why all my videos got demonetized. Look, it's honestly, truly not my fault. I mean, how do you interpret this? And now we have weird triangle people to talk to. I'm as baffled, or I was as baffled as you are, trust me, but that's one of the least weird things you're going to see thus far. She, I'm assuming, is trying to help me by pointing all the different things out and being, "Oi, you idiot, there it is." I think. But yeah. There we go. We can do that, for example. And we can also pick this up. So basically what you're doing, we're going to need to use that in a bit to get another beat, but in a beat, hey. But basically what you do is you collect that stuff around town, and then you mix it up, and then you can also listen to the demon whispers in front of you. There you go. It's probably like Slanesh whispering to me. I'm sorry, I'm going to cool it off the Warhammer references, but I find myself at a loss of how to interpret this. I mean, for one thing, it's certainly not lacking the absurd and abstract items, this game. We have that in the bag, right? Both literally and proverbially, because, you know, you're wearing a bag and you put stuff in it. So, other than that, there isn't really much to it. There isn't... I guess there are puzzles that you need to do in that... I've sort of done this already, so I'm sort of playing by memory a little bit. But if I remember correctly, you need to take this crystal over to that pedestal, and then you have some instructions on how to get a new beat, and that's exactly what you do. You collect everything in this area, and then you move over there towards the rave, I suppose, is what you'd call it. What you young people would call it. He says that having returned from one in, like, what, half an hour ago. At any rate, there you go. You collect this stuff. Let's change it up a little bit. There we go. How about that? This works, right? One would assume. Now let's talk to the giant ball thing. You put the cassette in it. There you go. See? It all it all sort of comes together eventually. There you go. I've shown you basically the gist of the gameplay. This is what you do for pretty much the entirety of the game. You discover these weird, abstract things, you interact with them, and you create music. You also get adorable cutscenes like this, which I'm actually gonna talk over this one because it's not that informative, shall we say. You're meeting a new character, which seems to be a little bit useless, to be completely honest with you. As far as the technical side of things, well, I said the game's graphic style is quite interesting, and the background specifically. Yeah, you have it says Voltco, right? Like in the far distant background, you can see some rather peculiar looking things. I'm pretty sure that's like a factory. It's like a transparent mountain. You have what I assume is just Slanesh, you know, riding through the area and all that. But yeah, you can basically you can put down those laser things like that. I'm not sure why. They don't seem to be that useful. But yeah. So like I said, graphically the game's very interesting and I quite like it. But I say game, it is a game, undoubtedly. Hey, we found a new beat, that's what I used the can of soda for. Here's the thing though, it's undoubtedly a game, fair enough, but it's more of an experience than a game, right? Because you don't really do many puzzles for the sake of doing puzzles and challenging yourself. At least not in the traditional sense. For example, it took me ages to figure out how to get up that ladder, or, well, you know, I was trying to get up that ladder for about 30 minutes maybe. And then there's the party, but when we collect all the sounds we'll need to go over there. But, you know, it's definitely more of an experience and a rather unique one. To be honest, like, something I usually do also is I compare games to other ones that I've played that are similar. Possibly the ones that I've done on the channel, but I've never seen anything like this in my life. more or less. If there is something like this, please let me know. I'd appreciate it, but what I'm saying is I haven't experienced something like this ever. Yep, I'm pretty sure, like, at all. Ever. Nope. Nothing like this. So, yeah, I've also found a weird mask. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what you do. So, would I recommend it? I guess is ultimately where this is heading. And this is going to be a remarkably short video because A, I don't want to spoil anything beyond this area. B, there isn't really a lot of in-depth stuff to talk about. It's a case of you saw what it is. That's basically it. There isn't much philosophy going on here. There isn't much to discuss and debate, apart from would I recommend it and what do I think about it. Well, before I give you my judgment on this, I should hasten to add that, in terms of music, I'm an idiot. I can't play a single musical instrument, and I don't know anything about the process, even, of creating music. I can do art, I can draw, not too bad at it. I can write, I guess. I am literate, if that's what you mean. No, I guess that's, I mean, not too bad at that either. But music is beyond me, in all honesty. So, there we go, we found another thing. It's a thing. Picture. Yeah. Nicely drawn as well. At any rate. Is that... Okay, that's... I'm being... That's not another one. I'm being, silly. So, yeah. Would I recommend it? Well... It depends. How interested, I guess the word would be, you are in, Right, give me a second, there we go. In creating the game's own soundtrack. That's something I would usually point out to as a quality of indie games very often. They have good soundtracks. This one does too, I'm sure. Eventually. Huh? Not too shabby, I would say. It works, I guess. That's the thing. You create your own soundtrack. Cast graffiti before next level. Hashtag Dengenzi. Oh, last graffiti. That's an L. Sorry, not cast. Last graffiti before next level. Alright. And then you also pick this thing up. Which is, for like 70 to 60% of my audience, that's a floppy disk. You put those in your floppy disk thing in the computer. What do you mean you don't have one? Yeah, nobody really does. They don't make them anymore. It's a thing from way back when Jesus was still alive and walking the earth. No, in all due seriousness and honesty, it's a thing from like the 90s. So yeah, that's what all save game type things looked. Did you actually save with it? No. Can you actually save? Yeah, you just... Okay, yeah, get on with the times, so you don't need a floppy disk to save anymore. Fair enough. Fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, that's basically the game. So, would I ultimately recommend it? Finally, to get to that as well. If you have any interest in fiddling around with the soundtrack, sampling music in general, creating music specifically, I guess, in general, then yes, I would. I think this is a nice little experience that you would probably enjoy. In you know, again, in my opinion. However, if not, then I don't know. I'm struggling to give it a resounding yes, and I think you can see why. I'll give a few recommendations, shall we say, to the game, and then point a few things out, and then you can make the decision for yourselves. For example, I'm close to completing this level, or relatively close to completing it. There's still a few things I need to get. This is the fastest I can move. I would really, really like a run button, okay? Like, I would seriously appreciate a run button. There we go, come on. Alright. And now our character... Okay, it was invisible there for a second. Also, I guess, the thing worth pointing out... cool. There's two different phases, and when you open and close that fridge in this level, it's either day or night. Don't ask. Just don't. But yeah, graphically the transitions, he says, like, bug out the camera. Graphically, like, the transitions between the levels and the areas and all that are actually gorgeous. And the nature, or... I wouldn't call this nature, but you know what I mean. Like, the level design itself is gorgeous, but it doesn't have a sprint button, which is a downside. To finish the level, you need to collect all the sound from the area, which is a bit tedious. I would prefer if that was done slightly differently. For example, collect like 75% of it or something. Because locating the last one is somewhat, again, tedious. The game itself is not very long, fair enough and all that, but yeah, it is a bit of a chore to go through every single, you know, rock and crack in the level to find absolutely every sound that you need to complete it. So that would be like my criticism of the game. I would prefer if those design decisions were a little bit different, and for God's sakes, give me a sprint button. But yeah, other than that, I don't really see anything wrong with it. There is that camera glitch, what I just noticed. I haven't had one in ever, really. Just in all my time playing it, I just discovered it right there with you. But yeah, that's pretty much like the only bug I found. The game is perfectly good and functional. Oh yeah, back a bit. We did do the entire midnight thing. What does this do? I don't need to play a thing over here if we collected both of them. I need to find 2 sticks. I need to find one more. Okay, I don't actually remember where it is. It's somewhere around here, and you now see my problem. It's somewhere around the sand. There, maybe? I think it's there. I would like to now hurry up to it. So that's like the I guess, not really major issues, but a few minor gripes and a few minor problems that I have with the game. The cutscenes are rather brilliant, and so is pretty much everything else for what it's trying to do. There you go, I think I gave you a pretty good idea about what this game is and what you can expect from it, and it's honestly like one of those games that you see it and you have a pretty damn good idea whether you're going to like it or not. So there you go, I think I showed you plenty of it. Is that a thing I can... Yeah, okay. Alright, that would be it from me for this video, I think. Let's try and...
Sound scanner is active.
Okay, did I miss something in the air? I don't... Yes, I did. I missed you. I thought that's the wrong button. I thought I missed one more. Alright. This one, this one. That one we don't. Is that everything? Yep. Let's go to the generator next. Let's also mix something up again. Something slightly different. Let's do that and that. for example. Look, never hire me to be a DJ, okay? Oh, and don't worry about about what was basically what I assume at least is Slanesh. He doesn't hurt anyone. You can just go right through him. It's actually curious whether he's going to smush me if I approach him. Turns out not. But alright, yeah, like I said, I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much everything you need to see. I want to try and spoil as little of the game as possible and as few of the sounds that I can. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. That's basically it. The link to the game will be down in the description, or to the Steam page to the game will be down in the description, so you can check it out, as well as a few of my own links, Twitter, Tad, Patreon, etc, etc. Check those out if you wish, but by no means feel compelled to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Juggernaut. Please remember to like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed this, and want to stay tuned with the rest of the content I produce on the channel. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye. Oh, and I will actually show you... sorry. I will actually show you one more thing. I thought it would be quicker, but I need to go to the fridge, so... You know, I usually cut it out, but it's right there, so... Game needs a sprint button, come on, get on with the times. And yes, you can just click to go there, you don't need to use WASD. Actually, yeah, I just found another topic of conversation. I'm using mouse and keyboard to play this. You can use an Xbox 360 controller, and in fact for about an hour or so, I did use this. Thing is, though, I'd actually prefer mouse and keyboard. You can use the mouse to click on all these things over here in the menu if you wish, and if you need to access them like that and don't want to use hotkeys. And even if you do, it's much easier to sample stuff if you're using the mouse to aim. The camera is a little bit jerky and not really great with the Xbox 360 controller. It takes a bit of getting used to, and we'll just turn off camera autocorrect basically, and I'll be fine. I think it's a little bit overly sensitive as well, but actually, can you change that? You can probably change that. At any rate, though, we can go over in this direction, I believe now. Yes, we can. It's Sench, right? Yup. Moss the Baseline Maker. Sounds about right. And having a party over here, which we can record as well. There we go. Put that on. So there you go. That's about it. I wanted to show you another character, which is Moss the Baseline Maker. I don't know either. It's a fun little game, has fun characters in it. I think it's worth a shot. If you're into something like this. So yeah, that'll be about it. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember to like, subscribe, down below as I already said. Take care, have fun, and bye-bye.